resolve. The rest of it was supposed to resolve, but that one didn't.
That's okay.
Of course. It's the same way I tried to get in and went, oh, what?
Okay, that should be in the page now, Arian.
Great. I'll just check it and make sure it's running. Okay, yep, we're live on YouTube and on the Artsfront website.
Okay, Bong. Everything good your end, Bong? We'll mute ourselves and we'll be ready for you to kick off at midday.
Okay, that's in 2 minutes.
Yep, great.
This is what you do while you wait for the minute to go by. That is where President Manuel Quezon is buried, that monument. He was the president of the Commonwealth under the United States when we were a colony of the United States.
Hello.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Little Lunch Online. I'll send my greetings, our greetings from Larrakia country, also known as Darwin. I'm in Darwin at the moment, and we will be joined later on by our friends from the Philippines. First, I'll do some announcements. Lunch is being recorded and will be streamed live and available for viewing afterwards on www.llol.com.au. We will be sticking to the 30-minute time frame because of signing and captioners. Please introduce yourselves in the Zoom chat and say from whose country you are on today. There's live captioning available if you click on the captions icon on Zoom. There's also live signing from Susan. Thank you, Susan, from Auslan Stage Left. And people participating that way just need to click on Susan's video and pin it. If you have a question, please type it in Zoom chat or put your hand up using the hand up button. Please keep your mics on mute unless you are speaking. Any technical problems or feedback, please email contact@artsfront.com. Welcome. We have more people joining us. Greetings from Larrakia country, and thank you to Feral Arts and Artsfront. So this morning, we'll be chatting with Joseph Puruganan and Jael Burgos, who are in Quezon City in the Philippines. We'll start this morning in Manila by showing a video that Jael and Joseph worked on, which will provide some context to what we will be chatting about. So give me a moment. I will try to share this screen with you. If I can find it. Where is this thing? Sorry, still trying to, I did rehearse this, so I don't know what's happening. Sorry, just give me a minute. Meanwhile, maybe Joseph and JL can say hello while I'm sorting out technology.
Hello. Magandang umaga. Good morning from the Philippines.
Hi, I'm JL. I'm the filmmaker who did the video that Bong is trying to show. I'm also from the Philippines.
I'm getting there. I'm getting there. This bloody technology. What's happening?
Could you tell us a couple of things about the video, JL?
I'm sorry again.
Could you give us a little bit of background on the video?
Oh yeah.
Well, I'll
I'm
show
part
it now.
of-
Or else I'll just show it now. Can you say
Okay,
it
okay,
before
sorry.
you chat this?
Go ahead, Bong.
Okay. Is it playing?
Okay lang yung virus na yan. Yung umalis sa grupo.
Pagkatapos nito, babalik lang ba tayo sa normal? Sa mabilis na takbo ng buhay, araw-araw ay sugal. Silang panalo, tayo ang talunan, sa araw-araw na pakikipagsapalaran. Yan ba ang babalikan pagkatapos nito? Yan ba ang babalikan pagkatapos nito? Pagkatapos nito, balik lang ba sa dating gawin? Sa marahas na takbo ng buhay, puno ng takot at pangamba, ligalig-ang laking kaulayaw, mula umaga hanggang gabi. Yan ba ang haharapin pagkatapos nito? Yan ba ang haharapin pagkatapos nito? Pagkatapos nito, may bago tayong lakas. Sama-sama nating tahakin ang ating landas. Iwawasto ang liko-likong daan, isisigaw ang ating panawagan. Mas maayos na lipunan pagkatapos nito. Mas maayos na lipunan pagkatapos nito. Alam na natin ang dapat na gawin. Kailangang dapat na baguhin. Anong uunahin, kailan sisimulan? Pag-gising natin, kinabukasan, pagbangon natin pagkatapos nito.
Thank you. So yes, please, if JL and Joseph can speak about that piece, please now. JL, you can continue what you were saying before.
Want to start how the words and the music came about, then I'll proceed after you. What do you think?
Okay, yeah, okay,
All right.
Joseph.
Yeah, thanks Bong. Thanks for showing the video. The song pagkatapos nito, or when this is over, is a product of the lockdown, I would say. It was written about 10 days after the entire of the island of Luzon was put under what it's called an enhanced community quarantine, meaning that no schools, of course, no work, no public transport, and you basically have to get a pass. Everyone is given each household is given a quarantine pass, it's called, that you have to show to authorities when you go out, and you go out only for to buy essential goods, medicines, food, etc. So we're pretty much under lockdown until the 15th of May. And so that was written, around May 25, 10 days into the lockdown, as a sort of a reflection on how we're affected by the pandemic, by the epidemic here in the Philippines. We're all affected, but we're affected differently. That's my initial reflection into that, because as you see 10 days into the lockdown, you begin to hear daily wage earners complain about, or their fears about survival. When much of their livelihood depends on them going out and engaging in their livelihoods. I'm talking here of street vendors, for example, those who have to go out daily and to earn money to support a family. So it's pretty much a reflection on those realities. We, of course, in the Philippines, we're no stranger to disasters, to emergencies, man-made especially. Our president is a disaster, for example. But what we learn from these disasters is that they exacerbate existing vulnerabilities. Pre-existing conditions, right, are made worse during times of crisis and disasters. So in this song, it's a short song. I tried to just provide at least 2 examples of those vulnerabilities in the 2 stanzas. The first one is of course, the inequality in the Philippines. You can count the number of billionaires from the Philippines, but it's still basically a very poor country. And a lot of the benefits of growth, it's growing, but the wealth is concentrated in the hands of the few. So the first stanza speaks about that, the inequality and the daily struggle of daily wage earners, especially those in the informal sector. And just ask the question, is that what we will return to after this? The same level of inequality, the kind of the disparities, and between the wealthy and those who don't have much, who are struggling every day. And then another reality is the violence that's plaguing the Philippines. And again, we have a president that doesn't mince words when it comes to killing. He likes to, and his words have, in fact, are deadly words. We just learned the other day of the shooting, which was captured on video, of a former military personnel who fought in the war in Marawi, but became mentally ill. He was shot dead by a policeman, supposedly for violating the enhanced community quarantine. So again, that the song asks, is that the kind of reality that we want after we, of course, hopefully we survive this pandemic, but there shouldn't be, the normal should not be, that kind of reality of inequality, of violence. And of course, in the third stanza, I tried to it's like sort of the call to arms, if you may, that appeal that, you know, we know what we need to do. We've seen the weaknesses, and we know that there are, we cannot continue living like this, and so it's a turning point as well, no? To hopefully a much a better society, as the song says, no? And then, this is a collaborative process, and the initial stanzas I shared already to Bong and JL and the others in our group, and then ideas flowed, and then JL picked it up and did this very poignant and very moving video. JL?
All the videos that you've seen were all shot during this enhanced community quarantine here in the Philippines. What you can see in the video is what Manila looks like right now. Empty streets, a lot of homeless people, a lot of people holding small placards saying that they're hungry, we need support, we need help. So based on that image, I used the placards, the writings on the wall to show the lyrics of the song, no? So all the text that you can see are the text, are the lyrics or parts of the lyrics of the song. So I use those images to capture what the Philippines or Manila looks like right now. So another difficulty of shooting during this time is the quarantine, no? You cannot go to a lot of places because we have a lockdown here in Manila, no? So I use the device of using this text to shoot in a safe distance. Also, there's one shot, there's an area that was shown in the video. It's called San Roque. San Roque is an urban poor community. There was this time that the residents of the community of San Roque went out of their community and demanded support from the government. On that same day, when that happened, 21 of them were arrested by the state, by the government. So they're already released now. A lot of people fundraise for their bail, and now they release. So I went back to that same community and shot the people there. So the people that you can see in the video during daytime are inside that same community, San Roque. So it's also it's like also a collaboration for us, the community, and of course Joseph, Bong, and other people from our group. So we've been discussing this video. So yeah, that's it.
Thank you, JL. Thank you, Joseph. I'll just ask on some questions we've received. There's one from Dan. Hello, Dan. What has been the response to the song? Has there been conversations about the future?
There's a lot of trolls, no? Philippines is now famous for the president's trolls right now. So the videos are being attacked by the trolls right now. That's the immediate response that we got.
But if I may add also, it's getting a lot of engagement. I've seen the posts of JL, maybe close to 17,000 views already in a matter of a few days. But more importantly, I think to reply to the question, I think people are getting the message and they are responding in their comments. They're saying that some are repeating some of the lines in the songs, affirming some of the lines in the songs, and the others are adding in their own thoughts on a way forward after the crisis. And a lot of them deal with more support for public health, giving more importance to essential workers. We realize that in one comment it says that those who are like the janitors, those who take our garbage, they do essential work that maybe before the lockdown we sort of take for granted. So yeah, support for public health, prioritize food, and support for agriculture. Yeah, and then yeah, the essential workers, informal workers, and the important job that they do. You know, so hopefully the conversations will continue. Yeah.
Thank you. And here's a question from Feral Arts. What future do we want after COVID-19? And what is the role of artists?
Yeah, well, we want a more just society, and we want a more caring society. I think that the crisis has shown us that the importance of care. A number of our fellow members of AMP3 musicians have written songs to pay tribute to our frontline health workers. But I think we need to, when we are over this crisis, we really need to pay attention to healthcare. And I think that's the priorities of many governments are really screwed up. They they focus more on physical infrastructure, mega projects, and they've forgotten about the soft projects. I mean, the importance of public services oriented like health, education. And in times of crisis, realize these are the things that are more important. So I think, yeah, when this is over, I'm hoping that this is a turning point. The Indian author, novelist Arundhati Roy calls it a portal. She said the pandemic is a portal. That this can be a bridge towards a new world. But she asked the question, what should we bring? Will we bring all the baggages of this old world into that new world? I hope not. No, I hope we leave behind the greed, corporate greed, the inequality. We leave all that behind. We leave the violence behind, and we look forward to perhaps a better society for all.
One of the things that was shown by this pandemic is the is the inequality that's happening, especially in a third world country like the Philippines. No? So we're hoping, I'm really hoping that this inequality will eventually be crushed, and hopefully the urban poor, the farmers, and the workers here in the Philippines would have a say in our government, because right now there's none. So hopefully after this pandemic, everything will be better. No?
Also, if I may add, role of artists. I mean, Joseph and JL and other artists have had artistic responses to the crises, but also other responses like Joseph and JL are artists, but also developmental and social activists. Like Joseph, for example, works for Focus on the Global South, which is a regional NGO. JL is part of other networks and organizations for social change also. And some artists in the Philippines have stopped making art and have gone cooking. So there's community kitchens in the Philippines led by Artist Relief Mobile Kitchen and other groups. So the response of artists has been varied, diverse, and I think so as it should be, because when we say we're artists, we're not only artists, we do other things too. So, any other questions? Sorry, there is another question from Dan again. How did you go filming during this time in regards to police action and presence?
Hi Dan, thank you for the question. I am part of an alternative media here in the Philippines, so I have a pass. I have a media pass, so I can go around. But of course, with that said, I have to make sure that I'm safe. I have this like social distancing angle, you know, and like I also have to wear protective gears, protective equipment. So yeah, I can go anywhere I want if I want to because I have a pass. So that's not very hard. The hardest part is what you can see in the streets right now because there's a lot of people hungry here in the Philippines. That's the hardest part, accepting it.
Thank you. And we have 6 minutes. So anyone who wants to ask a question or comment, please do so. You might want to raise your hand, maybe not. This reminds me of primary school, too much raising hands.
Hey, I was wondering if we could have a little bit of a conversation about how we can strengthen the relationships between artists in different countries, whether this experience gives us a chance to do more of that and have stronger connections as artists and workers in the community.
Yeah, can I answer that, Bong?
Yeah, please.
Yeah. I think this project, Arts Front project, and this link with Darwin Community Arts is very important. We see connections definitely. In Asia, what we're trying to do is we have this group called Asian Music for People's Peace and Progress, or AMP3. You can check out our Facebook page. And what we're trying to do is to use music as a tool for on the one hand expression. We link up with progressive musicians in the region who write songs about the social issues, about the realities that confront communities. But it's also a tool for network building, and we've had several opportunities to meet face to face with fellow musicians, interact, collaborate. So I think I'm hoping that this is an opportunity for us in Asia to engage artists in Australia some more. We started that with the project of DCA a couple of years back with Asia in Darwin, and which gave me an opportunity to visit Darwin. And there are definitely, not just in terms of the issues that we confront, there are similar issues, but there are also different dimensions to the issues. We were discussing offline a while ago the issue of indigenous peoples. I think that's something that would resonate, and I hope we have more conversations like this in the future. Yeah.
Can I just add also here in the Philippines, filmmakers also linked up. For those who can go out, they're giving their footages for free. We have a private group sharing our footage. For example, I give some of the footage that I was able to shoot during that day, and they can use it because not most of us have a pass. The pass is like right now the Philippine government required us to submit an application for us to get a pass. Some of us were given a pass, some of us don't. So I'm not one of those who were given a pass, but I'm still reiterating my stand as being a journalist, that shooting is a right for us because we're media practitioners. So we're just reiterating our right to shoot. So that's it.
I'll just add quickly that even before, of course, the lockdowns and the pandemic, there have been collaborative activities and working together over the internet. And I think, this song, for example, was produced that way, that we were in our homes and we assembled the piece just using virtual technologies, internet technology. So we can keep using these technologies and these opportunities to work across borders. Anne has a question. Go ahead, Anne.
Oh, I thought you were going to ask it for me, Bong.
Sorry. No, you can.
I just, I do find it all very moving and disturbing, really. It's confronting, of course, because we're looking at what your reality is right now. But I just feel helpless, really. I can't imagine what we can do to support you.
Well, thanks for the empathy. I think that's very important. And we all feel helpless. I think even us here here in Manila, we're in Quezon City, and we hear, for example, because despite the lockdown, and many of us are staying at home. In some communities outside of Manila, the attacks from corporations continue. We hear of a news, for example, in a mining town where they were able to, the community set up a barricade because the contract of the Oceana Gold mining company expired already. But the company took advantage of the lockdown, and 100 policemen barged into that and dismantled the community barricade. And so what can you do from Quezon City, right? We're facing our own realities here, but there are other communities that are worse off. And so as artists, what we try to do is shed light. I think that's one of the reasons I wrote the song, is hopefully to raise the right questions. And what we're trying to do more, we're supporting as well. We're doing online gigs to support fundraising efforts. One of them is to support indigenous communities who are traditionally been neglected and deprived, and there's a lot of discrimination, right? So I don't know how to respond, Anne, but to say that we value the empathy, and I think that expression of empathy is very important as we all try to confront this in our different ways, and try to deal with it and try to push forward with progressive ideas. Yeah.
And I appreciate what you say about that. As artists, our job is to shine light, and maybe that means we shine light on each other's realities and have to live with the discomfort and until there's some point at which you can see what action to take, which right at the moment doesn't seem to be much.
Yes. Yeah.
Can I just add something? My brother was abducted 13 years ago. He doesn't have. He's still missing up to now. Actually, tomorrow is the 28th anniversary of his. 13th anniversary of his abduction. So April 28, 2007, he was abducted by the military. Every time that I'm reminded of that is like, what can I do? He's disappeared now. I don't have. I'm helpless. I don't have anything to do. I cannot do anything. I mean, so I always think of what can I do for my brother not to disappear completely. So what I've been doing is sharing my voice to those voiceless, to the voiceless. So I think that's the first thing that we can do right now is share your voice, be the voice of the voiceless right now. There are a lot of fundraisers here in the Philippines. We're supporting that. Joseph can probably give you a link later on. But for the moment, please be the voice of the people. A lot of human rights violations is happening in the Philippines. When I say a lot, there's a lot. For example, 4 days ago, a group of progressive people are trying to distribute relief goods in the countryside. They were arrested, and the government said they're distributing the relief goods illegally. So because it's not from the government side, it's from the progressive side. You're not allowed to do it, and they were arrested. They were jailed like for 2 days. They were released on bail right now. So yeah, it's happening. Human rights violations are happening here in the Philippines, and please be our voice.
Thank you, Jael. Unfortunately, we are 3 minutes over time, so we'll have to say goodbye here. And let's hope we can keep talking and keep chatting. And as Joe Hills was singing many years ago, solidarity forever. Thank you.